Hello everyone, good evening. Today we are bringing an exclusive content for all our viewers and readers. Today we will speak in depth about the India's electronics manufacturing ecosystem, the challenges, growth and how India can compete with China. Apart from that, we will also try to give you a glimpse of how the PCBs are manufactured and assembled in India. We are not even sure whether we can show you the complete process or not, but they will definitely try to give you a glimpse and overview of how the manufacturing is happening in India. And apart from that, we will also speak about why PCB manufacturing is so complex and why India imports 70% of PCBs from China. So, in this regard, we will speak exclusively with Mr. Varun Manwani, the director of Sahasra Group of Industry. Varun, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
It's pleasure to have you on our board. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Today we will discuss deeply about the industry. We will also know about the challenges and how the manufacturing ecosystem is growing. Okay, so now coming back to, would like to know something about Sahasra. Okay, see when and how Sahasra was formed. Okay, when we founded the organization, initially what was the motto and which were the products and the services. You were actually manufacturing that time. And today, in all these years, when the company was founded, and after all these years, why do you see the difference that time and this time? If you can elucidate this.
Sure. Sahasra was founded in the year 2000, and Sahasra is a Sanskrit word which means millennium.
Yes.
So instead of calling ourselves Millennium Electronics, we decided to call ourselves Sahasra Electronics. Today, we're in 2024, 24 years have gone by in our journey. We started with our EMS activity, which is the PCB assembly, wire harness, box build activity. Yeah, this was started by my father, Mr. Amrit Manwani. He is still active, he's 73, he's the chairman of the company. I myself also joined in the year 2000. I was a college student, but I was always fascinated with electronics and with manufacturing, and that's when I decided to part-time join him during this journey. So we started with our EMS businesses and we focused on the export market for the very first 10 years. During this period, we got into, we backward integrated and we got into PCB fabrication. So that was our second business. Opportunity presented itself, and in the year 2012, we got an opportunity to invest in Rwanda. Rwanda is a small country in east of Africa, and that's where we started our LED lighting business. Thereafter, in 2016, we got into the solid state memory business, and we started manufacturing our USB drives, micro SD cards, SSDs and memory modules. Just a year later, we were very lucky, and I would say we were able to get into a joint venture and a very strong relationship with a very large Taiwanese company called Mytac Cimex Corporation. Through that joint venture, we were able to get access to their high-tech electronics product portfolio, primarily in computing. And that's how we made our journey into the computing segment. Sahasra was the very first company to start manufacturing enterprise grade server motherboards 2019 onwards. It was a feat which had not been done in India earlier. Thereafter, in 2020, when the pandemic unfortunately happened, that's the year when the government came out with the very first PLI scheme around mobile phones and its components. That's when we applied for the very first PLI, and we were lucky enough to get awarded the PLI, and that is when we laid the foundation stone for our semiconductor operation, and so we got into semiconductor packaging. Just last year in March, we started, in 2023 March, we started trial production of our semiconductor packaging, and in September, we got into mass manufacturing.
Can India become globally competitive? No, why I'm asking you is, my first question that comes to my mind is, all my viewers would like to know that also, India has set and achieved a target of $300 billion worth of electronics by the end of 2026 and $125 billion of exports in the same year. But unfortunately, the thing is that, 70% of the PCBs, this is as per the report, by the industry body. 70% of the PCBs were imported from China. Around 75% to 80% of sensors were also imported from China. So without developing the component manufacturing ecosystem, do you think is it possible to achieve the target? See, we are not pessimistic that we cannot achieve the target, but the problem is with the deadline. Do you think that is justified?
Well, the way I look at it is, first of all, we should be optimistic to exceed the 300 billion figure. We should not look at 300 billion and get bogged down by it. We should look at crossing that figure. I think India is very well poised today in terms of the geopolitical situation, in terms of the political situation at home. So when you look at the macro level outside the country, and when you look at the macro level inside the country, we are very, very well poised. The fact that most likely the same government may come to power, it helps the industry because from a policy standpoint, there is continuity in terms of policy. There is no break in policy, and that is the most crucial. I'm not politically oriented giving this answer, but I'm giving it from an industry standpoint that there should be no break in policy or in the way policies are being rolled out, in the way industry is working towards the future. So therefore, something like this really helps. And so exceeding these numbers or at least achieving these numbers is not such a Herculean task. It is definitely doable, keeping also the geopolitics in mind, what is happening worldwide.
Okay, my second question to you, Neil, sometimes, this question you might not like to answer, but the thing is that, what comes to my mind, because I don't know anybody has ever asked you this question. This is because, when the ITA 1 agreement was signed in 1997 in Singapore, according to the industry bodies, India's dream of leading the nation in manufacturing ecosystem is shattered. Because at that time, the government clearly said, let India be the powerhouse for software. We're still today, but that time the notion was that, let India be the software powerhouse and let China, manufacture and assemble other electronic products. Okay. The thing is that, why I'm asking this question to you is that, why make in India in terms of electronics or even semiconductors?
Yeah, so I'm just coming back to that yes, it is unfortunate that back in those days we had to sign ITA 1 and we lost quite a bit of manufacturing expertise, know-how that we could have developed over the years.
Recently, I talked to another manufacturer who is also into SMEs, into LED, but I won't take the name. According to him, this schemes, PLI schemes, and all everything is targeting, targeting FDIs, the foreign companies. Okay, they are not helping the MSMEs. There is deploying automation challenge in MSMEs. Getting loans also is getting very difficult. So, do you think it is actually helping MSMEs? It is only targeting foreign companies.
Sorry, I will disagree with this, my industry colleague, whoever gave this impression or information to you, and I will give 2 examples. If you look at the telecom PLI, it has specially and specifically a lot of SMEs available. Number 2, if you look at the recent PLI 2.0 for IT hardware, 27 applicants were given the green light, and within those 27 applicants, I think there are at least 15 or 16 applicants who are SMEs. So that's not the case. Third, and if I'm not wrong, the PLI for drones was specifically around SMEs. There are really no large players in the drones industry. So it is not that these PLIs are only for the large MNCs or very large companies of India. In fact, these PLIs and incentives are basically stepping stones. These are initial support, right? So that we get that initial boost. The disabilities that we have vis-a-vis our counterparts in the eastern part of the world or other countries of the world, we are able to overcome those disabilities and we are able to get a kickstart to do our manufacturing on a longer term and a larger scale for Indian consumption and for export to the world.
So we are in one of your product section. If you can tell me what are the products and is it completely made in India, and if you speak about it, how these products are manufactured, if you can say about this.
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned to you earlier that we are in memory products and we are also in IT hardware. So if you were to come and have a look at these solutions here, So these are our USB drives and our micro SD cards, right? And then if you come to the back this side, these are our portable SSDs, our internal SSDs, and then these are our memory modules. On the lower section, you will see these are consumer client computing motherboards for different applications, for all-in-ones, for desktops, etc. And then you
Is this completely made in India?
yes, so whatever we have on display here, these are completely made in India, right? Sahasra doesn't do any kind of trading activity.
Okay,
So all the products,
the PCBs, these are all Sahasra manufactured.
these are all Sahasra manufactured PCBAs. This one, all of these that you can see here, these are, as I already explained earlier, that we got into manufacturing enterprise grade server motherboards in 2019. So these are all motherboards which have been made by us in here in India. Now, because of our technology partnership with this company Mytech and through our joint venture, we have access to the technology, we have access to the availability of the product, and therefore we get the raw material from there, and then we completely assemble it in India, right? So all of these products that you see on display here are India-made products. So we are today proud to say that we are shipping our motherboards to Korea, and our memory solutions are going to the US, to Europe, to the Middle East. So these are available on DigiKey, which is a very big electronics e-commerce platform, and they're also available on Amazon Global.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much
for your time.
Thank you very much.
And it's always a pleasure, okay, to have an interaction with you. And we also want to see Sahasra, one of the top manufacturer in the world.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the wishes, and thank you for covering everything about Sahasra.
So we are in the manufacturing unit of Sahasra, where they manufacture PCBs, okay, and we'll also find out in detail with an expert, what they do. Can you please explain what kind of this facility currently known as?
See, this is a PCBA assembly line where we have state-of-the-art SMT lines. We have 8 SMT lines, and we have 8 SMT lines with all the lines being equipped with AOI and SPI facility.
And coming back to the PCB, what kind of PCBs you are currently, currently you are manufacturing,
See, we cover the whole spectrum of the industry, whether it is consumer industry, the industrial industry, the automotive industry, and medical industry, aviation industry. We cover the whole gambit of the industry, and going down the line, yes, we continue to grow. We will continue to grow with the EMS industry growth.
Okay, my last question is, when there is a saying that the manufacturing process of a PCB is very complex. Okay, around 35 procedures are involved. Okay, so can you please tell me why it is so complex?
See, if you look at the complexities lies majorly with the boards. What we do, we do a board which is almost all 10-layered board, and having very high density, as well as also large placement of components. See, the primary focus of the manufacturing today is to ensure customer delight. We ensure customer delight through right quality. And at Sahasra, we strongly believe in having a good manufacturing system followed with a high quality. This shall ensure customer. In fact, we are doing this in India, and our quality rates, yield rates are quite far better when compared to the industry.
Okay. So what is the difference between a bare PCB and this PCB?
See, the bare PCB is a simple PCB. This board is what we call it as a PCBA. In a PCBA, the electronic component gets populated on the bare PCB. See, the complexity is in terms of the number of layers what you do. Okay, I will not be able to reveal more details on this board.
Okay.
Because this is the complexity of the board normally lies in the number of layers which can be fabricated. This is a high layered board. This is what I think.
So when the board gets completed, all the components get integrated, then the board is
called
final.
as PCBA.